Daredevil, a famous character from Marvel Comics, is a blind lawyer named Matt Murdock by day and transforms into a masked hero by night, tirelessly fighting crime in the city of Hell's Kitchen. Matt's double life is a complex blend of the light of justice and the darkness of vengeance. Under the Daredevil mask, he becomes a symbol of resilience, overcoming fear to protect the innocent from the brutality of the underworld. Meanwhile, Hellboy, another unique superhero, first appeared in San Diego Comic-Con Conx 2 in August 1993. Dubbed the World Destroyer, the Great Beast, and the Beast of the Apocalypse, Hellboy is not just the right hand of doom, but also the son of the fallen. He embodies the conflict between good and evil, a powerful and determined warrior, always fighting to protect humanity from supernatural threats, despite his dark origins. But before we dive into the debate, please hit the subscribe button. It will help us a lot. Thank you so much, and don't forget to turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon. Matt Murdock grew up in the harsh area of Hell's Kitchen in New York City, where daily life was a constant struggle. As the son of Battling Jack Murdock, a once famous boxer whose luck had run out, Matt faced many challenges. His mother left the family when he was still young, leaving Jack with the burden of raising him and the pain of abandonment. Under financial pressure and the burden of age, Jack was forced to work for a notorious criminal named Roscoe Sweeney, also known as Fixer. Roscoe not only coerced Jack into dirty work, but also turned him into a tool of violence, transforming a proud boxer into a pawn. Matt's life took a dramatic turn when he witnessed a runaway truck heading toward a blind man crossing the street. In a tense moment, Matt jumped out to push the man out of harm's way, only to be struck by the truck carrying radioactive material. A container fell, and the toxic liquid spilled into Matt's eyes, permanently blinding him. But in the darkness of his blindness, Matt's other senses became extraordinarily sharp. In this chaotic time, Matt met Stick, a mysterious blind martial arts master. Stick not only became his teacher, but also enlightened him, helping Matt harness his newfound abilities and transform into a formidable warrior. Matt stood in the shadows of the stands, his eyes filled with hope as he watched his father step into the ring. Jack Murdock, once the pride of the boxing world, was ordered by Fixer, a cunning crime boss, to throw the fight. But faced with Matt's trusting gaze, Jack couldn't bring himself to do it. He fought with all his remaining strength and won, knowing the price would be high. That night, in a dark and wet alley, Jack was ambushed by Fixer's men. They brutally attacked him, leaving his lifeless body on the ground. Shattered and crushed by the pain of losing his father, Matt faced a harsh reality: the legal system he once believed in couldn't bring justice for his father. Graduating with honors from Harvard Law School, Matt could have pursued a traditional legal career, but anger and a thirst for revenge led him down a different path. He created a new identity, becoming Daredevil the Avenger in the shadows. Matt began hunting down each member of Fixer's gang, eventually confronting the crime boss himself. When faced with fear, Fixer collapsed from a heart attack. And in that moment, Matt realized his true purpose: to uphold justice, not just as a lawyer, but as Daredevil. Daredevil possesses not only 4 superhuman senses, but also turns them into formidable weapons in his fight against crime. His sense of touch is so acute that he can feel the faintest ink marks on paper, allowing him to read by touch alone. Scents become traces that Daredevil never forgets. Just 5 minutes of contact with someone enables him to remember and recognize them, no matter how well they try to mask their scent. Daredevil can track a scent trail through a crowd, even at distances of up to 50 feet. His hearing is also a remarkable marvel. Daredevil can hear a person's heartbeat from over 20 feet away, distinguishing between hundreds of sounds in the city. Even whispers behind a soundproof wall cannot escape his keen ears. And a person's heartbeat reveals truth or lies, and Daredevil always knows when they are hiding something. His sense of smell not only helps him differentiate scents, but also remembers and identifies every component in food or drink. But most extraordinary is Daredevil's radar sense, a power honed during his harsh ninja training. Daredevil can control his body's autonomic functions, from adjusting his breathing to regulating blood flow, allowing him to endure without air for extended periods, making him a tireless warrior in the darkness of New York City. No one has inflicted deeper and more lasting wounds on Matt Murdock than the notorious crime lord Wilson Fisk, known as Kingpin. With cunning and ruthlessness, Kingpin exploited Daredevil's secret identity, using it as a tool to break him. But Fisk didn't act alone. The bloodthirsty assassin Bullseye, with his brutal killing skills, took the lives of 2 women Matt loved the most. Daredevil's enemies are not limited to Kingpin and Bullseye. Matt faces a host of other dangerous foes, from Leland Owlsley, also known as Owl, and Micah Sin, to the mind-controlling demon Zebediah Kilgrave, known as Purple Man. Mary Alice Walker, in her madness, becomes Typhoid Mary, bringing living nightmares to Daredevil. Lawrence Larry Cranston, known as Mr. Fear, spreads fear, while Wilbur Day, aka Stiltman, and Vincent Patilio, aka Leapfrog, bring dramatic battles. He also cannot forget the mysterious Ninja Order Hand and the hateful group Sons of the Serpent. Daredevil primarily operates alone, but he always has trustworthy confidants. Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, Luke Cage, Danny Rand, aka Iron Fist, Private Investigator Jessica Jones, King T'Challa of Wakanda, aka Black Panther, Steve Rogers, aka Captain America, and the deaf adventurer Maya Lopez, aka Echo, are all crucial allies to Matt. Occasionally, Daredevil collaborates with the Defenders and has even joined the Avengers under Luke Cage's leadership during intense battles between light and darkness. Hellboy first emerged from the shadows on the night of December 23, 1944, when the dark mystic Grigory Rasputin, aided by the Third Reich, summoned him from a mysterious dimension to Earth. But instead of arriving as a destroyer, Hellboy was encountered by a group of soldiers led by Sergeant George Whitman, under the guidance of Lady Cynthia Eden-Jones, a top British psychic. Alongside them were Professor Trevor Bruttenholm from the British Occult Society, Professor Malcolm Frost from Blackfriars University, and the superhero Torch of Liberty, a World War II icon. Upon Hellboy's arrival, Professor Bruttenholm saw not a monster but a lost soul and quickly befriended the fiery red creature, naming him Hellboy. He was taken to an air base in New Mexico, where Hellboy began his new life among humans. The Osiris Club soon contacted him, assigning him to eliminate the terrifying crocodile monster St. Leonard. However, it was during a mission at Cavendish Hall that Hellboy truly faced a deadly threat. The battle tested not only his strength but also pushed him and his teammates, Abe Sapien the half-man, half-fish, and Elizabeth Sherman, the girl with uncontrollable fire within her, to the brink of danger. Hellboy and Kate Corrigan stepped into an abandoned town, once bustling, now only echoing with the growls of angry werewolf spirits. Their investigation quickly turned into a personal quest for vengeance when Father Kelly, Hellboy's loyal comrade, was brutally murdered by a surviving werewolf. The pain and burning anger in Hellboy drove him to seek out this enemy. Meanwhile, Liz Sherman, after losing her powers to the homunculus, underwent rigorous treatment under the supervision of Dr. Alas at the Wauer Institute. But peace didn't last long. Hellboy and Kate were drawn into a new mystery, a missing cross, and a series of bodies that vanished without a trace. All clues pointed to the homunculus, who desperately prayed to God to end his life. In 2004, Hellboy traveled to Africa, where he met Mohlomi, a powerful witch doctor. African spirits warned that Hellboy had only one final night to live on their land. The prophecy became haunting when a sea witch wielding terrible power appeared with the intent to prevent the apocalypse by severing Hellboy's limbs and hiding the right hand of doom. To achieve this, Hellboy was exchanged with Bog Rouge in return for 3 mermaids, her beloved granddaughters. 2 years later, Hellboy was washed ashore on a nameless, deserted island. Here, in loneliness and exhaustion, he accidentally awakened an ancient mystic and, through that, uncovered the darkest secrets of the universe. But it was the resurrection of Ergo Hem through the mystic's blood that brought Hellboy to the brink between life and death, as he temporarily lost his life, leaving an indelible scar on Hellboy's immortal soul. With the Excalibur sword in hand, Hellboy and Alice began tracking down terrifying reports of dead aristocrats rising from their graves, a clear affirmation of Morgan's prophecy. On this dangerous journey, they were ambushed by a monstrous knight who proudly declared himself the loyal warrior of the Blood Queen Nimue, boasting of Nimue's murder of Queen Mab and all her allies. Despite fighting fiercely and eventually defeating the knight, Hellboy and Alice couldn't shake the feeling of unease. They wandered into a tavern hidden deep in the woods, seeking a moment of peace amidst the chaos. That peace didn't last long as Baba Yaga, with her haunting smile, appeared and offered a tempting deal to lead Hellboy through Nimue's army of monsters in exchange for one thing: his eye. Hellboy, filled with hatred, shot the witch's eye to pieces. He then advanced to Nimue's tower, only to witness her being possessed by the monstrous Ogdru Jahad, turning her into a gigantic dragon. Ogdru Jahad unleashed a terrifying storm across the United Kingdom, destroying everything to prepare for the final Dark Age. Hellboy plunged into a life or death battle with Ogdru Jahad, but despite fighting with all his might, the dragon's immense power gradually overwhelmed him. Both Daredevil and Hellboy are formidable fighters, possessing superhuman strength and unparalleled endurance. Hellboy far exceeds human limits, capable of ending an enemy with a single precise punch. But Daredevil is no ordinary man. He is a skilled warrior with superior radar senses, allowing him to perceive things others cannot. In a fight with Hellboy, Daredevil has a better chance of survival than most, but that doesn't make him invincible. If forced into a direct confrontation, Daredevil might be overwhelmed not due to a lack of skill, but because his strength and durability are still insufficient to cause significant harm to Hellboy. The secret life of Daredevil has often been threatened, forcing him to make bold decisions. To protect his identity, he created a fictional character named Matt Murdock, whom he claimed to be his twin brother and also the embodiment of Daredevil. To add more credibility, Daredevil staged Matt Murdock's death, and upon returning, he assumed the role of a new hero to replace himself. Meanwhile, Hellboy, with his complete immunity to fire, continues to be an unpredictable challenge. As Daredevil's feud with Kingpin began to brew, Matt Murdock inadvertently became entangled in the life of Elektra, who had now turned into a ruthless assassin serving the crime lord. Fate cruelly pushed Elektra into a confrontation with Bullseye, the most savage hitman, and when she was killed by him, Daredevil's pain and fury burned intensely. Matt was determined to exact revenge, leading Bullseye into a relentless showdown that ended with his most dangerous enemy being completely paralyzed. However, the brutality of the battle wasn't the end. Elektra was resurrected in a dark ritual performed by the Hand organization. In a moment of unintended action, Matt purified Elektra's soul, but her true resurrection was only completed when Stone, a member of the Chaste Order, intervened. Ironically, Matt would never know that Elektra was still alive, and this truth would be hidden for many years to come, leaving a scar on his heart. Meanwhile, Baba Yaga, a powerful and ancient witch, hides in her eerie chicken-legged house, having survived through centuries, harboring deep hatred for Hellboy after he shot out her left eye. Considered a grandmother by Rasputin, Baba Yaga harbors a strange, tender affection for Hellboy. Hellboy's first encounter with the witch goddess Hecate occurred after he defeated Vladimir Jurescu. Hecate warned Hellboy that their fates were intertwined with the apocalypse, that they would either die together or live to witness a new world. Although Hellboy defeated Hecate, she survived in an iron body sustained by the blood and bones of Ilsa Hopstein, serving as a haunting reminder of the unfinished destruction. But Matt Murdock didn't just face external enemies, he was also threatened by the darkness within his own soul. The Beast, a demon worshipped by the Hand for centuries, took hold of and corrupted Matt's mind, turning him into a true demon. With supernatural strength, Daredevil became nearly immortal, an unstoppable fighting machine. Yet, in this frenzy, Iron Fist appeared, delivering a mystical punch that expelled the Beast from Matt's soul, bringing him back to reality. After these dark events, Matt found solace in his relationship with Kirsten McDuffie, a fellow attorney. The two moved to San Francisco together, where Matt decided to reveal his identity as Daredevil, but this bravery soon became a burden when he realized the unforeseen consequences. After confronting Purple Man and freeing the children he had controlled, Etrigan, in a world where darkness and light intersect, would likely be seen by Batman or Captain America as a dangerously unpredictable ally, a being with a clear mission but always ready to compromise with evil. Etrigan would certainly relish working with them, constantly testing the limits of the principles they uphold and awakening the darker aspects of their nature. Among the three, Hellboy is the only one not swayed by the temptations of power or haunted by the past. Though destiny has mapped out his path, Hellboy doesn't let fate control him. He is destined to destroy Satan, overthrow him, and lead the Hell Army along with King Arthur's undead legion to conquer Earth, as foretold by the prophecy of Anom Yuen Rama. Hellboy, though carrying the blood of a demon, was raised as a human, instilled with human values and morals thanks to his kind-hearted adoptive father. However, when confronting Nimue, Hellboy sacrificed his life and was cast into hell. Here, he had to face the horrifying truth about his origins, tempted by darkness, and even assassinated Satan while he was in a deep sleep. But that was only the beginning of the harsh trials Hellboy had to endure. The pieces of his destiny gradually fell into place, leading him to an inevitable death and the rise of Anom Rama, the son of the fallen demon. But before accepting his fate, Hellboy had to confront the great Leviathan in a battle for survival, defeating the monster and proving his superior strength. Daredevil, a resilient warrior, doesn't just rely on strength, he uses his heightened senses to gain an advantage in battle. While he is quick, agile, and capable of dodging and escaping danger, facing an opponent like Bane who possesses both a sharp intellect and superior physical strength would be a significant challenge for him. Imperatively, Daredevil can easily overcome mid-level opponents like Jessica Jones, Moon Knight, and even Luke Cage, but when up against top-tier foes like Hulk or Thor, he would be swiftly overpowered. Ghost Rider might be a more evenly matched adversary, but Daredevil would still have to contend with powers that far exceed his endurance and resilience. Spider-Man might have the upper hand in a one-on-one fight with Hellboy. Peter Parker's extraordinary agility combined with his spider sense allows him to easily dodge Hellboy's attacks. However, if Hellboy were to land a direct punch, it could be powerful enough to stun Spider-Man, possibly even causing serious harm. Should Hellboy unleash his full strength, Spider-Man would need to rely entirely on his speed and agility to avoid being hit, as a single successful strike could prove fatal. Nightcrawler, with his teleportation abilities, could be a formidable opponent, but this power isn't instantaneous. Daredevil, with his ability to sense spatial changes before Nightcrawler reappears, could anticipate his attack. With quick reflexes and sharp intuition, Daredevil could prepare for Nightcrawler's assault, ready to strike with his billy club as soon as Nightcrawler reemerges. Daredevil can even use his billy club lethally, similar to how Bastion once defeated Nightcrawler. Meanwhile, Hellboy and Ghost Rider, both hailing from dark and mysterious worlds, possess incredible resilience. Both can endure severe injuries, making them tough opponents to bring down. Ghost Rider might have an offensive edge, but his penance stare might not work on Hellboy, as Hellboy is inherently good-hearted. Additionally, Hellboy's immunity to most of Ghost Rider's fire-based attacks would turn the battle into a relentless showdown where physical strength and endurance would be the deciding factors. In a desperate situation, facing a deal that could land him in prison, Matt Murdock decides to do whatever it takes to protect Hell's Kitchen. With no other options, he turns to Tony Stark, known to the world as Iron Man. Matt asks if Tony would be willing to bid in an auction to buy back Hell's Kitchen, a bid that Matt himself lost. Just before deciding whether to continue with the deal, Elektra unexpectedly appears in court. With persuasive confidence, she announces that she has outbid Tony and will take on the responsibility of protecting the neighborhood in Matt's stead. Elektra's appearance brings a glimmer of hope, reassuring Matt about Hell's Kitchen's future. Knowing the neighborhood is safe in Elektra's hands, Daredevil accepts a plea deal for second-degree manslaughter and faces the consequences of his actions. The two then focus all their efforts on their ultimate goal, taking down the Hand once and for all, ending the threat they have sworn to protect against with their lives. What do you think? I know you must have thoughts and feelings about this. Thank you for watching. That's today's video. We'd love to hear your opinions. We hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll stop here. Thank you.